very good Monday morning to you on the Spice Isle, and welcome to today's edition of What's It? Gudday Grenada. I'm George Grant, and nice looking morning here on the Spice Isle. We are so happy that you're with us. We've got some interesting stuff for you this morning, including a visit from Beverley, Sinclair. But it's going to be sort of a sad visit, if you will. Yeah, you're going to have to wait to find out what I'm talking about. But we're also going to take a look at a number of other issues here. I don't know if you want to call them issues, but the ECCB, the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank, they are commencing a review of Republic Bank's application to acquire Scotia Bank's operations in the ECCU. Yeah, that was the talk on the weekend. A lot of people have been buzzing about that. A lot of messages running around on WhatsApp out there this morning and on the weekend about that. We're also going to take a look at a report by the Salaries Review Commission. You know, there's some talk about increasing the salaries of parliamentarians. Then, of course, we do have the national report for you, and Beverley Sinclair is also going to be in. And we're going to wrap it up this morning by taking a look at something interesting that is coming out of Trinidad, involving Mr. Lawrence Duprey. Name ring a bell? If it doesn't, hang in there. You're going to find out in just a wee bit. All right, so that's your rundown for this morning. Now, the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank confirms that it has received an application from Republic Financial Holdings seeking regulatory approval to acquire the Bank of Nova Scotia's operations and businesses in the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union. The application was received on Tuesday, the 27th of November. All right. Pursuant to the Banking Act, the ECCB has commenced its review of this application. In this regard, the ECCB has held initial discussions with the Central Bank of Trinidad and Tobago and the Bank of Guyana. These regulators will collaborate on the review of this application. The ECCB will also confer with the Central Bank of St. Martin and Curacao. It should be noted, pilgrims, that the ECCB is already the regulator of Republic Bank since it has operations in Grenada. Republic also has a stake in the Bank of St. Lucia. All right? The ECCB is clear and resolute about its mandate to protect the EC dollar and wishes to make it abundantly clear that it will continue to maintain very high levels of foreign reserves, as it has done for the past 35 years. The proposed acquisition has prompted discussion about the ownership of banking assets in the ECCU. At present, 55% of banking assets are owned by 3 Canadian banks and Republic Financial Holdings, and 45% of banking assets are owned by indigenous or national banks. The proposed acquisition, if approved, would not fundamentally change that ownership distribution. Let me repeat, according to the ECCB, the proposed acquisition, if approved, would not fundamentally change that ownership distribution. Since 55% of the banking assets would be owned by 2 Canadian banks and Republic Financial Holdings, and 45% of the banking assets would continue to be owned by our indigenous banks. From time to time, there will be changes in ownership of banks. Indeed, the proposed transaction is the latest in a series of consolidation moves by the Canadian banks. It is distinctly possible that there could also be some consolidation moves among indigenous banks. Citizens and residents in the ECCU should come to expect these developments as part of the bank's response in the ECCU banking space. Indeed, the ECCB continues to encourage indigenous or national banks to cooperate and consolidate to ensure the interests of the people of the ECCU are best served. In this regard, we refer the public to our consultative paper on consolidation and national banking sector in the ECCU, and that was published back in July of this year. Already, citizens of and residents in the ECCU are encouraged to remain calm and stay abreast of developments in the banking sector. All right, that's the release from the ECCB. Now, just before I start telling you about the Salaries Review Commission, let me say good morning to our pilgrims out there on Facebook. Hello, Lori Bridgman. She's saying good morning, brother. Enjoy the sunshine. Let me tell you, we do have sunshine here this morning. Veronica Sandy wants to know how I'm doing. I'm doing fine, Veronica, especially now that we know that you're sitting out there. Thank you so much. Judy Lewis Joseph is saying good morning, and Irene Rattan is also saying good morning. Patriots, aren't we all? Yeah, man. And hey, wait a minute. We only have one man out there this morning. Do you realize that? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 ladies. And here comes another man. First of all, T.F. Richards is saying good morning, Brother Grant. And John Kennison, he's saying parish number 7 is online. George, your mic is very low. Hello, hello, why is my mic very low, fella? You gotta be kidding, eh? George's mic is very low this morning. Hello, George. Hello. We're also now joined by Coylan Nash, who's saying he's listening. All ears. So, we move on to the report by the Salaries Review Commission. You've heard talk recently about increasing the salaries of parliamentarians. Well, got this release over the weekend, which I'm anxious to share with you. Prime Minister Mitchell has received the report of the Independent Salaries Review Commission. The Commission spent the last few months reviewing the salaries of all parliamentarians in Grenada, including ministers of government, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, the President of the Senate, and the Leader of the Opposition. Comparisons were also done with other countries in the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States. On Thursday, Chairman of the Salaries Review Commission, Mr. Henry Joseph, presented the report to Dr. Mitchell, who said it will be considered by Cabinet and laid before the House sometime in 2019. In his wrap-up of the budget debate last Friday, Dr. Mitchell indicated that he intends to take action to improve the salaries of government ministers. The Prime Minister revealed that there is a difference of more than $20,000 in the salaries of some ministers and their permanent secretaries. a situation which is not normal in relation to employers and employees. Yaman. That's the release from the GIS. So guys, I guess everybody's going to be all ears up over the next few weeks to see what happens, even though the PM says he's not going to do anything about this until it goes to Parliament, and that's going to be in 2019, okay? So, that's our introduction this morning, if you will. We have now been joined, by Margaret Francis. She's saying good morning, everyone. Agatha Jordan is saying good morning, my dear friend. So nice to see you, Agatha. And she says, you sound as though you're speaking in a box. Box? Hello? I don't understand why I sound like I'm speaking in a box. Well, let's flicky here and flicky there and see if we, nope, no change. Tell you what, we're going to take a little break here. Hold on a sec, hold on, before I take the break. T.F. Richard says, we need to start again. We need to rename the so-called budget debate. After all, it's a one-sided parliament. So in truth and in fact, there is no debate. What do you think? So says T.F. Richards. Okay, folks, I'm going to take a little break here, and we'll see if we get this mic issue resolved. I'm not sure why this is happening, but we'll see what we can do.
Hubbard's, bringing you Frigidaire Christmas cheer. With the purchase of any Frigidaire fridge, freezer, stove, washer, or air conditioning unit, you get a free 3-piece Frigidaire non-stick pot set. Come into our appliance department on the Carronage and Building Supplies Grandance to get your trusted Frigidaire products and enhance your cooking this Christmas. Offer available while stocks last. Hubbard's, quality service, affordable prices.
Spread some cheer and show you care with GRENADA's Give a Wish promotion. Do you know someone who has had a challenging year and deserves some good fortune, or a worthy cause that needs extra support? Grant them a wish this holiday season with GRENADA. Just pay your bill in full, then write their name, address, and phone number on the top portion of your bill. Add your phone number and drop it into the wish box at any of our GRENADA customer centers, or you can enter online via our Facebook page. 15 customers will receive a $500 electricity voucher for giving a wish to someone who deserves it, and 15 winners will each have their wish granted, valued at up to $1,500. What's more, 230 lucky customers will win $75 electricity vouchers. Spread the cheer this year with GRENADA's Give a Wish promotion. Visit our website or Facebook page for more information. Terms and conditions apply. Promotion ends December 21st.
Juve chocolates, cocoa nibs, and cocoa balls from Diamond Estate Grenada are now available at Amazon.com, Amazon.ca, Amazon.co.uk, and GrenadaMarket.com. Try the sensational touch of nutmeg and a touch of ginger chocolates, 75% dark and rich, 100% pure cocoa, and their 60% dark and sweet chocolate bars today. Amazon Prime members enjoy free shipping on these orders in the USA, Canada, and Europe. GrenadaMarket.com. When you can't come to the island, the products of the island will come to you.
Okay. I am hoping that I'm a little bit better now. I'm hoping. I don't know. But everything looks hunky-dory here. So, let's get right into the national report, which was released on Friday evening. Here we go.
Significant rural development expected following MOU signing between SIEP and GIDC. Details to this story and more in the national report. With the details to the news for Friday, November 30th, I am Leslie Ann Johnson. A memorandum of understanding signed between the Climate Smart Agriculture Enterprise Project SIAP and the Grenada Investment Development Corporation on Friday is expected to result in significant rural development over a 3-year period. The MOU, valued at $7.1 million, which was signed at the Ministry of Finance, could mean the creation of more than 100 jobs, with hundreds of other existing small businesses receiving different types of support.
We are looking at having persons trained in business development. We're looking at having more persons starting businesses. So we hope that at the end of the 3-year period, we'll have at least 120 persons starting businesses. We hope that at the end of the period, we'll have at least 270 businesses, existing businesses, receiving support in the areas of business plan development, as well as looking at initiatives to grow from strength to strength. So we'll work with these existing businesses. We also, at the end of this program, we hope to have persons receiving some grant assistance. At least 500 persons will receive some test grants, and at least 400 persons will receive some grant assistance for the businesses. So GIDC will play a critical role in working with these businesses to allow them to grow. From this collaboration as well, we'll get some assistance to develop a training and outreach center in the Seamoon area. One of our existing buildings will be refurbished, so we'll be able to assist with training persons in that area.
That's Mr. Ronald Theodore, Senior Vice President and current Acting CEO of the GIDC. The Small Enterprise Agriculture Project is a 6-year program which runs from 2018 to 2024, funded by the Government of Grenada, the International Fund for Agricultural Development, and the Caribbean Development Bank. The development goal of the program is to contribute to the reduction of poverty and vulnerability of men and women in rural communities in Grenada. Head of SIAP, Mr. Byron Campbell, says the 3-year project will allow for greater focus on young people in the rural communities.
Support for business in terms of financing and other business support services, very important. It would also allow them to refurbish or renovate their property in Seamoon to allow for training facilities and employing business development officers to provide hands-on support for small businesses in rural Grenada, particularly in agriculture. Agriculture here is critical, going to be really very, very critical. So many young people want to get into production and don't have the finance to do it and the support to do it. So they'll be getting grant financing. Remember, I want to say very clearly too that early that this is not free money. This money is coming in as a loan to the government of Grenada. It has to be managed absolutely very well. And so this is where the business support and the training will come in to ensure that the business supported are sustainable and provide livelihoods, to improve livelihoods for rural people, particularly young people. We had a lot of talk about young persons. This is where the money is going to. This is what the project is going to do.
Friday's signing was done in the office of Mrs. Ophelia Wells Cornwall, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Finance. She says it marks the start of the enterprise business development component of the Rural Development Program, which will bring business support to rural communities, especially for young people.
When we interacted with the youths in our youth budget consultation, one of the things that came out very strongly was the matter of having business support, a unit, a body, a group that can help the young persons with developing business plans and accessing financing and that hand-holding support. So we would have taken that on very seriously, and this morning is evident and testament of that particular commitment that government would have given to them then. So in 2019, GIDC is a child of the state. They're a child of Ministry of Finance, so we're happy to partner with them on this wonderful initiative, and we look forward to the successful implementation of this aspect of the program.
When Prime Minister Dr. The Right Honorable Keith Mitchell presented the 2019 budget recently, he said a Rural Development Office was established that created a single coordinating umbrella for government's 2 flagship poverty reduction programs, the Basic Needs Trust Fund, BNTF, and the Climate Smart Agriculture and Rural Enterprise Program. The idea, he said, is to adopt a more integrated approach to rural development issues to strengthen the coordinating framework for poverty reduction and inclusive growth.
The enterprise business development component, which is geared at supporting ongoing and startup business in rural areas through capacity building, technical services, and financing with a focus on youth. The Smart Agriculture CSA component, which will be a major investment in the agricultural sector, is aimed at increasing the sustainability of small farmers through the adaptation of climate smart agriculture.
The Ministry of Education says reimbursement for non-farmers for teachers who reported to work with parties and calculated their salaries for the month of November. Payments to several banks and credit unions on behalf of these workers were done on Friday, November 30th. The Ministry issued a release on Friday saying it will continue to receive information from any additional payments expected until the matter is completed. This is the last time we said, no news.
Is a major priority. Health of our people, a crucial necessity. Accidents happen when road users are either irresponsible or inconsiderate in one way or the other. Play your part. Reduce your speed. Be attentive. It is your personal responsibility. Let 2017 be the start of no more road fatality. Be safe, be seen, be smart. So let's wise up as a nation, get to your destination safe.
Continuing the news, Prime Minister Dr. The Right Honourable Keith Mitchell has received the report of the Independent Salaries Review Commission. The commission spent the last few months reviewing the salaries of all parliamentarians in Grenada, including ministers of government, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, and the President of the Senate. Comparisons were done with the countries in the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States. On Thursday, Chairman of the Salaries Review Commission, Mr. Henry Joseph, presented the report to Dr. Mitchell, who said it will be considered by Cabinet and laid before the House sometime in 2019. Dr. Norbert Myslinski, founder of the International Brain Bee, is currently visiting Grenada on the heels of Grenada's Giovanni de Gans' outstanding performance at the 2018 final in Berlin. He placed second. As Annette Moore reports, the Brain Bee founder preliminary screening test for the local leg of the Brain Bee competition at the Grenada Boys Secondary School and spent time interacting with the GBS's principal as well as past and prospective Brain Bee competitors.
He's a very educated man. He is a doctor in neuroscience, and it was very intriguing in a way. Like, he created a competition that started a lot of years ago, and for me to be actually being able to speak with him and engage with him, that was a very great experience. I can't think of the words, actually.
The ability of Grenada's people to be warm and friendly and to build great relationships is the main reason behind the neuroscientist's visit.
Because of the close relationships that I've had with the Grenada leaders and coordinators, the ones that first started it here and the current ones like Gail Blaquette. And so it's just developed, and every year they would come and give of themselves to be co-coordinators, competitions, and so forth. And so we developed this relationship, and I was invited down, so I was glad to come. All right, we were in Grenada was really in consideration for being maybe the place for the world competition next year. It didn't come by this year, but maybe in a future year.
Myslinski, a member of the University of Maryland's Department of Neural Pain Sciences in the United States, founded the International Brain Bee at the university in 1998. It has now grown to more than 160 chapters in more than 40 countries and 6 continents. In 2016, Myslinski was awarded the Dana Foundation-sponsored SFN Science Educator Award from the Society for Neuroscience, which annually recognizes outstanding neuroscientists who have significantly added to public education and awareness in that field.
He said he would come to Grenada this year to meet with the students, to meet with SU, to meet with the persons, the government, and to talk about what can happen. Although we didn't go to host Brain Bee, he wants to see more happen for the Caribbean, and maybe Grenada can lead the effort.
I want it to continue to be an educational program, a program that is all-inclusive, regardless of how rich you are, what country you are, where in the world you are. It should be all-inclusive. You know, I want it to be something that would be inspirational and motivational to these young men and women, and who can go out and find cures for brain disorders, because that's one of our mottos.
Giovanni de Gans was thrilled to meet Myslinski once again for the first time on home grounds.
It was nice meeting him again. Brought back memories from the Brain Bee, so that was nice.
He had some advice for the students currently vying to enter the local Brain Bee competition.
Don't overthink it too much, because that would lead to a lot of mistakes being made and your overall downfall in the competition. So I think just stay focused, read your material. That would help you to prepare properly.
A Grenadian Brain Bee alumna also threw in her support.
If you get to represent the country, you get to go to a new place. So yes, you want to win, but at the same time, stop, slow down and enjoy the competition.
Simon encourages the private sector to once again come up in a major way to help legacy.
You talk about the students. They have competed well. All the students that have come every year, you say we have done better and better and better and competing at the highest level.
Myslinski left us with some advice.
Try and make a difference in the world, no matter what age you are.
For the National Report, I'm Annette Moore.
And that's the National Report. I'm Leslie Ann Johnson.
Why wish upon a star? Scotia Bank is better by far. Whatever you're wishing for this Christmas, we'll give you low interest and no fuss.
Co-op Bank is making Christmas wishes come true. Fix up your home, treat your loved ones, and get everything on your Christmas list this year with our no-fuss loans. As we count down the 12 days to Christmas, you can win awesome prizes every day. Special terms and conditions apply.
Christmas wishes come true with Co-op Bank and you.
With free island-wide delivery, Hubbard's Building Supplies and Lumber Departments continue to provide the best quality lumber, steel, tiles, plumbing materials, electrical and general hardware supplies at competitive prices. We continually consult with builders, homeowners and contractors to improve product range and services. Enjoy discounts where applicable, including the use of credit and debit cards. At Hubbard's Building Supplies, Grandance and Lumber Department, Caranage, we offer quality service, affordable prices, giving you the convenient, reliable, free island-wide delivery. Call 440-2087 for all your home improvement and building solutions.
Juve chocolates, cocoa nibs, and cocoa balls from Diamond Estate Grenada are now available at Amazon.com, Amazon.ca, Amazon.co.uk, and GrenadaMarket.com. Try the sensational touch of nutmeg, the touch of ginger chocolates, 75% dark and rich, 100% pure cocoa, and their 60% dark and sweet chocolate bars today. Amazon Prime members enjoy free shipping on these orders in the USA, Canada, and Europe. GrenadaMarket.com. When you can't come to the island, products of the island will come to you.
I don't know what to tell you, but I've been sitting here fiddling around trying to see if we can resolve this issue, but for whatever reason we have not yet been able to. I certainly hope that you guys are hearing me. I see that Beverley is always smiling there and looking so colorful this morning. So let me see if I can hear Beverley. Good morning, Bev. Are you hearing me?
I'm hearing you, George. The audio is distorted, but I'm hearing you. So good morning to you and all your listeners and viewers.
Well, I am hearing you loud and clear as well this morning. Very good morning to you, Bev. I trust that you had yourself a good weekend.
It's been an absolutely wonderful weekend so far. It does not get any better.
What do you mean so far? It's not over yet?
No, today is only Monday. It's the third. It's the third day of the weekend.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
we have a couple of things to deal with this morning. First of all, I'm sure you're here with something that you like to say, something that you like to get off your chest or vent, if you will. And after that, you have some kind of sad news for me this morning. So I'm just going to go get my handkerchief ready. Uh,
What sad news, George? Let's start with the sad news
you
first.
want to start with the sad news?
Yes, I don't know what sad news I'm supposed to have.
Well, Bev, I understand that. I guess one way to put it is that this is your swan song for Gudday
Oh,
Grenada.
that.
Yes. What do you mean?
Yes. Yes, this is going to be my last morning joining you live in
Okay.
this way. That doesn't mean there won't be a pop in or a pop out every now and then, but the regular Monday morning thing, yeah,
A
due
pop
to
in and a pop out, eh?
due to scheduling conflicts,
Yeah.
we can't continue with it on a regular basis.
Yeah.
So yeah,
But of
so
course,
this is my swan song.
but of course, we're going to see you on Thursday nights for Make We Chat.
Oh yes, Thursday night Meku Chat will continue as long as we can continue.
Okay, that's great. That's great. Good to
Right.
see you, Bev. So now that we've gotten that out of the way, I'm just going to let you loose for your swan song. Take it away, girl.
Well, George, it has been certainly a very turbulent last few weeks in Grenada with the industrial dispute that has dominated everything over these last couple of weeks. Well, more than a couple of weeks, really. Maybe it's going close to a month now that the unrest started in earnest, and we have not yet seen the end of it, and the end is not yet in sight because there seems to be a battle more than a settling of whatever it is to be settled. And it's very unfortunate. I've said it many times and in many different fora. The government, at the end of the day, which is the authoritative body in charge of this process overall, they have handled it badly. And I mince no words in saying that. I don't know what their objective is, but certainly if the objective was to achieve some kind of peace and to bring some closure to this, then the method was all wrong. If the objective was to cause more confusion and to let teachers and public workers who are protesting and insisting that their gratuity need to be given attention, then I would say that objective has been met. Teachers, especially, are feeling so demoralized. It's a huge challenge to keep them at a level where they can function properly. And I've spoken to a few teachers. I've heard the unions speak on behalf of their membership. And the mood, that kind of psychological impact on the teachers, I don't even think it's being given any attention at all. And it's a very serious thing. When you think that many people are out there lambasting teachers and trying to insult them and to say so many degrading things about teachers, many of these people have children who are in schools who depend on these same teachers to teach their own children. And you wonder, how do you go about castigating the caregiver for your child? It's not a good reflection of the kind of society that we live in at all. And our Ministry of Education, which should be taking the high road in this, have done nothing really, in my opinion, have done nothing to make it better and to cool the tension and to settle the flames and say, let's deal with this in a civil manner. Let's deal with each other on a humane level and move forward. Because the fact of the matter is, the gratuity has to be paid. And the unions have said, we are willing to look at a payment plan because we understand the challenges with the economy. So that is a given. So why is it that there's still so much animosity? The docking of the teacher's salary really was uncalled for, totally uncalled for. And that has certainly not helped to heal the situation. As a matter of fact, that is just adding fuel to an already blazing fire. So, George, that has been the overarching social situation for the past few weeks. And I know that last week, Thursday, on MequiChat, former Ambassador Antoine did put forward the idea of launching a GoFundMe account so that at least to put back some money for the teachers and to help them to have a better Christmas than what they are facing now financially. And the response to that has just been overwhelming. People can't wait for the account to set up because they want to contribute. And we're looking forward to getting that done and having a successful GoFundMe initiative so that the teachers can at least know that there are people out there who recognize and appreciate their effort and who want to help them to enjoy Christmas rather than to worry too much about how they're going to have to pay the bills with the drastically reduced salaries that they went home with in November. So at least that is a positive note and something positive within the entire mess that is happening around this whole gratuity negotiation.
You know,
And
Bev, just let me jump in here for a minute. I know you didn't see the program yesterday, but I have to bring this up. There are a lot of people taking sides out there, but I'll tell you one thing that really touched a lot of people was the fact that the unions, even though they were in the driver's seat, they decided, hey, listen, hold your haunches, let's go back to the negotiating table. And they did. A goodwill move, a goodwill gesture, if you will. But I find that the other side has been very antagonistic. I see you nodding your head. Do you agree with me?
yes, I agree with that.
And
I
yes,
absolutely agree.
yesterday I had three union leaders in here. I had the president of the teachers union, Union of Teachers. I had the president of TAWU, and I had the president of the Public Workers Union. And Bev, I was moved by how conciliatory, how willing to cooperate these people were. They are definitely making a good faith move. And to see what is coming from the other side makes you really wonder what the hell is going on and why.
Right.
Why?
Yes, that is the big question. Why? What is your objective? And that's the question I keep asking. What do you hope to achieve? Sensible people, and I do use the word sensible. If you have a situation in front of you, you must have some kind of inclination or something in your mind to say this is the outcome you want. And if this is the outcome you want, then there are certain steps you're going to take to get to that outcome. So when I see the way the Ministry of Education has been behaving, I keep wondering, what is the outcome that you want? Why are you behaving this way? What are you looking for? It's been antagonistic, and people are being forced, I would say, and even pressured to take sides and continue this divide within the country, which is so unnecessary, so uncalled for, especially in this situation. How can you have a conflict with teachers? Teachers teach everybody's children.
Well, Bev, you mentioned that they're possibly trying to force people to take sides, and that's obviously they're going to be trying to force people to take their side. But that seems to be backfiring because I've been spending a lot. I'm not a big Facebook fanatic, but I've been spending a lot of time on Facebook lately, and when I see the reaction out there on Facebook from the public, I mean, these folks better watch out. They better watch out because this thing is definitely going to backfire.
Yep. But if I have to send my child to school, I would not be happy that my child is going to sit before a teacher who is in a mental state now that is not the best for the classroom. Because teachers right now can be anything from upset to angry to just being to plain apathetic, to just don't care. You don't know what kind of mood you have drawn out of these teachers. And you're sending children to sit in front of them, to be taught by them, to be shaped by them. And you have created a kind of mood which is not the best for a teacher to get up and go to take on a class. So that's why we've said it about 4 times here already. What is the objective of the Ministry of Education? What are they trying to achieve? I don't know, because it's not clear in the actions. All I see is more confusion. And I hope that over the weekend, somebody would have talked some good sense into the administration and say, look, let's just back off. Let's take it back. Let's take it down. Let's stop the rhetoric and try to come to a solution that is in the best interest of the country and the children, which we keep talking about so much. We keep talking about the children so much. So let's do something to actually show the children that we care and we want to have this situation settled properly.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Again, I just have to repeat that I'm so impressed with the approach that the union has taken. Unions come under a lot of fire, and maybe in a lot of cases justifiably so. But I'll tell you, they have won the hearts of a huge chunk of the Grenadian populace right now, and I'm glad that they've decided to take the high road in this. Grenada needs an example. One would have thought that the example would have been coming from the administration, but I guess that's
Exactly.
that's wishful thinking.
Oh boy. I hope it's not wishful thinking and I hope we're not asking too much because the least we can expect from the people who administer the affairs of the country is that they would try to keep the peace. I think that's a very minimal expectation. Let's keep the peace.
I'm seeing a note here on Facebook from a good friend out there in New York, Margaret. Margaret says the objective is to break the GUT.
Well, from actions I've seen, it's easy to believe something like that. Because what else are you trying to achieve?
Yeah,
Certainly
exactly.
not a reconciliation or or conciliation of any sort. That can't be the objective with this kind of actions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's somebody with a sense of humor out there this morning on Facebook as well. Lori Bridgman. Lori says, George, I have a plan for you. Why don't you run for public office or you spearhead a formula or you spearhead a new part. I'm not sure what she's saying is she says I should spearhead something anyway.
Well, if she's talking about party,
Forget it.
ev- anyone who has heard me know that I believe political parties are the bane of our existence and we need to get rid of them.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
I want nothing to do with politics. But
We
go ahead.
we can have a system of governance that does not have political parties pulling the strings of the country. We don't need them. They are divisive and they are counterproductive. We need to get rid of them.
Absolutely. That's why we are in the mess that we are right now.
Exactly.
And these folks think they're so hot.
Oh,
So hot. Yeah, it's pathetic.
it
Bev,
is.
Bev, we're going to have to continue watching this, and I'm sure that you're going to bring the issue up again on Thursday night when we do MECRE chat.
Mhm. Yep.
Yeah, it's a sad situation, but again, my takeaway from yesterday is that I am proud of how the unions are approaching this.
Mhm.
They are acting in good faith. They're maintaining what they believe is rightly due to them.
Mhm.
I have no problem with that. No problem. But um, yesterday on the program, they made it clear that they're not about to go out there and be antagonistic to government. If government wants to be antagonistic, hey, let them go, and the public will judge. But they,
That's right.
but they're going to take the
That's
high road.
right. Okay. Well, that is great news coming out of the unions, and I would believe it is in their best interest to have the matter settled. And so far, I have seen where they have demonstrated that they would like to have it settled.
Irene Rattan on Facebook says the 15 seats are clouding their judgments. Yeah.
See, that's a kind of thinking and rhetoric that political parties breed. If we did not have political parties, more than half the problems we have in society, we wouldn't have them. We'd have some different problems, but not these.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
I see a note here from Agatha Jordan now. She says, George, I've lost you on the radio and on Facebook. Hey, life goes on.
Nice.
Bev, let me tell you, girl, thank you so much, my dear. And we're going to miss you here on Gudday Grenada, but I know that you're going to be around. We're going to see you on MECRE Chat every Thursday evening at 8 o'clock.
Absolutely.
And I'm sure that from time to time, you might even show your face on Sundays with George Grant.
Absolutely, George. Absolutely. The way the world turns, we can't predict the future, but we can plan for it.
Yeah, absolutely. Best wishes, my friend, for much success in whatever you endeavor to do.
Thank you, George.
Take care.
Thank you.
We'll see
Have
you.
a great day, you
Okay.
and your listeners and viewers.
All right. Beverley Sinclair's Swan song. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Folks, but hey, listen. She may be taking off, but I got you guys. You're still here. You guys have been putting a lot of stuff here on Irene Rattan says absolute power corrupts absolutely. I'll tell you what, thanks for the comments you've been putting. You understand why I have not been paying a lot of attention. We've been focusing on our good friend there, Bev. But I'm going to take a little break here now. And right after that break, what I'm going to do is share with you that piece I had promised you about Lawrence Duprey. I think this would be of particular interest to those of you who were bitten, if you will, in the Bico-Clico fiasco. Huh? Hang in there. Alrighty, folks. According to the Trinidad Guardian, business tycoon, gentleman by the name of Lawrence Duprey, has been blocked by the High Court from disposing of over 1 billion, you heard me, 1 billion TT dollars in assets, including 3 mega estates and a local insurance company, after a freezing injunction was sought by the company's former subsidiary in the Bahamas over a failed land development in Florida. This new injunction, granted by Justice Ricky Rahim to British American insurance company BICO, blocked Duprey from attempting to sell off Motor One Insurance Company and over 700 acres of land that fell under the former CL financial boss. Mr. Duprey and the other players in this matter could face a fine or imprisonment if the freezing injunction granted in the matter is breached. The injunction freezing Duprey's local assets was obtained against him by BICO's lawyers late in October, and now gives him very little control over what was once his vast wealth. According to the new terms of the injunction, Mr. Duprey is allowed some $500 per week as living expenses, and the judicial manager of BICO must approve any legal expense before it is incurred. The freezing injunction on Duprey remains enforced until he makes good on a $122 million payment owed to BICO, or until the injunction is discharged. Another one that you folks are going to be keeping your eyes on very closely. Like I said, especially those of you who were bitten in the BICO-CLECO fiasco. Dennis Isaac on Facebook says, Grenada has a $2 billion debt and counting, which came under the Keith Mitchell government. I would like to know, what is he waiting on? He needs to pack and leave, so says Mr. Isaac. Fitzroy Adams says, if KCM refuses to tell the nation what is the national debt of Grenada, what else do you expect from him? Okay, folks. Okay. Let me say thanks a lot for joining me this morning. Sorry about the hiccups along the way. We're going to continue plugging away. We're going to continue. We're doing all that we can. Believe me, this one-man band is trying. Glenn Andrew Mark is saying good morning from Michigan. Glenn, you're kind of late. Hello, Glenn. But nice to have you anyway. I'll tell you what, once the program is over, it's going to be up on Facebook, and we're also going to have it up on YouTube a little later on this morning. I say this morning because, hey, keep your fingers crossed. Yes, we've had some issues with audio this morning, but have you noticed that the stream has been pretty much impeccable this morning? Little or no lag whatsoever, no latency, very little latency. Thank you. Thank you. Whoever is responsible, thank you. Maybe having some second thoughts. Do appreciate it, and so do my viewers, my listeners. Folks, let me leave you with something inspirational, as we do every morning. I'm going to pull this one from Psalm 107, verses 13 to 16. Then they cried to the Lord in their trouble, and he saved them from their distress. He brought them out of darkness, the utter darkness, and broke away their chains. Let them give thanks to the Lord for his unfailing love and his wonderful deeds for mankind. For he breaks down gates of bronze and cuts through bars of iron. Yeah, folks, that's the God we worship. Yeah. My turn is coming. My turn is coming. My turn is coming. Folks, on that note, let me see here. Georgie Porgy is going to say thank you so much for joining me for today's Gudday Grenada. By his grace, we'll be back here tomorrow morning and every weekday morning. And let's hope that we keep getting better and better and better. Thank you so much for your support and encouragement. On that note, anybody else here on Facebook? Oh, by the way, you keep talking about Facebook, George. You haven't even taken a look at the people on the other platforms around the world who are with you this morning and who never fail to join you. Let's see who's out there this morning. We're just going to open up this page here very quickly. Yeah, they're in primarily in the United States, Germany, England. I don't see anybody in Canada this morning. And of course, lots of you here in Grenada as well. God bless you, my friends, and we'll see you tomorrow.